spend in a miserable way.
US News: a key tax deduction for telecommuters is gone. How to ease the lot. Telecommuters who used to be able to write off the cost of working from home could face a higher tax bill this year. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which took effect in 2018, eliminated the ability for employees to write off business expenses that are unreimbursed by their company. For workers with jobs, it's worth noting that the change does not affect the self-employed i.e., freelancers and independent contractors who work from home. That crowd can the ranks of employees who work from home at least half of the time have been growing, with 115% growth between 2005 and 2015, according to a 2017 report by Global Workplace Analytics and FlexJobs. Nevertheless, before the 2018 tax year, anyone who itemized their deductions could also get a tax break for certain miscellaneous expenses, which included unreimbursed business expenses that exceeded 2% of their adjusted gross income. For remote workers who shoulder the cost of running a home office, that threshold was more easily crossed because they could deduct a portion of expenses like their mortgage, utilities, property taxes and maintenance, along with other job-related costs that were not reimbursed by their companies. And while the new tax law nearly doubled the standard deduction and reduced marginal tax rates across the board, telecommuters might not come out ahead, depending on how sizable that previous tax break was for them. If you discover you're among that group, you can try to mitigate that increase in the cost of doing business from home by approaching your employer. For instance, you also could ask your company if you can become an independent contractor. However, additionally, you'd have to pay self-employment taxes, which means picking up the share of Medicare and Social Security taxes that your company pays on your behalf, said Bill Smith, Managing Director at MHM's National Tax Office in Washington. And if you think of setting up a side gig simply so you can funnel your home office expenses through that, you need to be sure it's a valid business in case the IRS comes calling. More from Personal Finance. Got a confidential news tip? We want to hear from you. Sign up for free newsletters and get more CNBC delivered to your inbox. Get this delivered to your inbox, and more info about our products and services. Copyright 2019 CNBC LLC. All rights reserved. Data is a real-time snapshot. Data is delayed at least 15 minutes. Global business. Data also provided by
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.